Hey, how's it going everyone? Shuirozen here. Welcome back to another Tea Time with Shuirozen with me. Again, for those of you that might be new, this is my video diary and this is my quote-unquote forever world. Feel free to throw this on in the background while you play your own game, work on schoolwork, study, maybe do some chores around the house. And just come here and hang out with me while we're chilling and chatting. Today is currently almost over. At the time of recording it's April 9th. Boy, do I feel like I have some things to bring you all up on. Those of you that don't know, hey, what's up, buddy? I work 6 days a week. I work a lot. I get 1 day off a week. And no, please don't come in here. I'm sorry. And it's been a lot lately. I've been doing that for about 4 weeks now. And it's different when I had my big corporate job at a Fortune 500 company. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on the interior here. See what we can cook up, find a spot for this bed. I was working 65 to 72 hours a week, 6 days a week, but so was everybody else, right? So it was fair. Here, I have my two bosses, and they work 5 days a week and get 2 consistent back-to-back days off. Whereas I work 6 days a week and get the, 1 day off a week, and I have to wait usually 8 to 10 days before I get my day off. It's a little unbalanced, it's a little unfair. I'm not really sure what the plan is gonna be for this little bitty room, but I mean, this is a tiny house. We're on like what episode? Like, I don't even know. I don't even know at this point, but a lot of episodes. Keep going up. Also, it's extremely difficult to try to consistently talk and stuff. Anyway, so my bosses get their 2 back-to-back days off. I struggle to get, I don't know the last time I had 2 days off. Right, it's been, let alone back-to-back. It's been a while. If you watched my most recent video, I talked about emotional exhaustion and how, working too much can lead to having no energy left to give for yourself. And burnout, those type of things. And yesterday I was at work and got a surprise text from my boss. Actually, I wasn't at work. I worked all day. Got a text from my boss asking to have a 2-hour meeting. At the time I didn't know it was going to be 2 hours, but they said, "You're not in trouble. We just want to check in on you." Because the last few weeks have been pretty difficult at work, and I take matters into my own hand. When stuff isn't done or stuff needs to get done, I don't throw a fit, I don't complain. I just show up, do the job, and leave, So I had a meeting on Monday, about planning for the future, general meeting. Hey, what are our goals for this next month that we're going to try to work on? What's been happening lately, like what's been going on? And let's just be real about it, because my bosses were dropping the ball big time. And like I said, I'm not here to throw blame around. I'm just here to show up and work, right? So we talked about that. And then they're like, hey, are you available for a meeting at this time? And I'm like, I'm not available. And I know you usually, when you're asked to have these meetings, it's usually not good, right? You know what I'm saying? It's not a good thing. So of course I walk in sweating bullets, right? And they're like, hey, you're not in trouble. We just, want to kind of go over more in depth with you, your thoughts and ideas, because they were trying to make some pretty serious changes. And I said, absolutely not, because, none of this stuff is already getting done. And now you're trying to take away time to get that stuff done and just let the responsibility fall onto whoever else it needs to fall on, right? I'm like, it's not helping anyone, you know? Why do I feel like this takes so long to break? So like, these are all really great ideas. We want to pick your brain about it more. And I recently got, my bosses got a new boss. And I guess the easiest way to describe their position. So I work under him. My bosses work under him, right? I guess the easiest way to describe his position would be more like a district manager. He's overseeing multiple teams and people that serve under him. Found some iron. Right on. I think you live in here. And he was like, I just want to get to know you better, Shuirozen. And I was like, great, okay, whatever. Trying to get to know him. And they're like, how are you? We feel that you have been honestly carrying they didn't say this, but I have been carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, and it's been tough lately. I'm not gonna lie, right? I've been exhausted. You can hear it in my voice. It's also late. It's the end of the day, right? I'm a little tired, And he was just kind of checking in, trying to get to know me a little bit, because I've only had like 3 conversations with him, and I liked him. They were great conversations. I look forward to hopefully getting to meet him more. And he just got like right into everything, like started getting into these super serious questions about and it's no secret to anybody that watches my streams or my coworkers that I am hard on myself because of past experiences, being a kid and kind of always being put down, not being encouraged, right? But always being told just like, you could be doing better. Why don't you be more like so-and-so? Right? You can always do more. You're not doing enough. You're not good enough. Maybe you shouldn't try this. You're not meeting our expectations. So I was constantly just feeling like I need to work harder at everything I do because nobody is happy with how I'm doing, and having a twin brother wasn't competitive or anything, in all honesty, but definitely more or less compared, and I was like, I'm my own person. And growing up, stuff, especially when we got to high school, we always had the same friends, me and my twin brother growing up, so it was, that part was cool and easy. And then when we started making new friends, being around more people, we again fell into like the same friend group. But I remember pretty distinctly that friend group being like, we like Shuirozen's brother more, and Shuirozen is just kind of welcome to tag along and hang out. And I'm like, why can't people like me for me or want to hang out with me because of me, not because, you guys are friends with my brother, right? You feel bad for me or whatever, so you're gonna invite me, And then previous relationships that just did nothing but tear apart my self-confidence, tell me I'm not good enough, tell me I'm not, worthy of them, or, I'm not capable of, being loved by somebody ever. and always threatening to uh, end things to go be with somebody else, or throwing the amount of people that they would rather be with than be with me. You know, I don't understand why you got to do that, but it happened, right? So why am I hard on myself? Why did I just explain all of this to you, and why did I tell my kind of like my new boss this, right? I was like, I'm just used to kind of feeling like I'm never like doing enough. I'm never good enough. I'm used to always having to be the guy that shows up early to get extra sets in, get extra work done, and stay late to get extra sets in or extra work done. I'm happy to do that. That's all I know how to do at this point, right? I'm used to it. Having to be the person that puts in the extra work. And like growing up, I was like, I think I was small for my age and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not a very tall guy. I'm short. I've mentioned this before. I was skinny, right? So I was easily, and I was picked on and like bullied and beat up just so much. It didn't stop, honestly. The relationship I was in, I've mentioned it before, maybe I haven't. Yeah, this girl I dated, my first relationship, she would beat the absolute heck out of me, and I didn't do a thing about it, right? That's not what this is about, though. How do you make a barrel? I think you need slabs. Right, anyway, so I've got all this stuff. I'm just used to not being, appreciated and valued and, told uplifting things that, encouragement and, somebody, believing in me. So that translates to now being an adult, out of college, working a job, thinking that I have all these high expectations and perfectness and excellence is a must. It's expected of me. It's a necessity if I want to continue surviving another day working at this job, right? How do you make a barrel? There we go. Oh, okay. So it's mostly planks. So we got into that, talking about why I'm so hard on myself. And it was just 2 hours of like the toughest questions. Like, I've never been to therapy. This is what I imagine it would feel like. Immensely difficult, I'm like, I don't compare myself to others because I know I've talked about it before. Comparison is the thief of joy. But I'm like seeing like, hey, like, I don't understand my purpose. I am not confident after everything I've been through, right? I don't have self-confidence. It takes me a while. And when somebody compliments me, because I'm used to only being told, put down and told mean things, right? I don't believe when somebody gives me a compliment. So it just kind of, they compliment me and it just hits like this fake face I have, right? Smile, and I'm like, yeah, cool. And then I go right back to, in my head, I'm like, that they don't mean that. They're lying to me. I can't trust them right now, because just of my past, right? Which, it's okay. I'm working on it, right? It's valid. Dude, holy trap doors. That's awesome. I didn't know I had that many. Take some of you. Take some planks. And so I have a hard time accepting compliments and believing them. And I think somebody in my shoes, totally valid, right? I think so. And it's something I'm working on. And then when you throw in the being overworked, right? And then you're like, oh my gosh, they wanted to talk to me also about how I'm coaching and stuff, and juggling so many shifts, so many hours a week, so many extra stuff that isn't getting done, and they're like, how do you have time for you? How do you have time to fill your cup so you can show up to work every day and fill up someone else's cup? And I'm like, I'm a people pleaser. That makes me happy. I enjoy doing that. Filling up someone else's cup, which is like, supporting them, doing what I can, trying to make them happy, trying to give them everything they need to where they feel fulfilled, right? Not easy stuff. Not easy stuff at all. What's up, Bat? And what I realized, and after making my emotional exhaustion video, they're right. You can't fill someone else's cup. You can't be a people pleaser. You can't continuously put everyone else around you before yourself if you're not putting yourself first. If you are not filling up your own cup. Because at that point, you're trying to fill somebody else's cup from an empty cup. And like that hit. And so, you know, we talked more, and my two bosses were there just sitting and listening, which was nice. I didn't really want to hear anything from them. And I was talking with our new, we'll just call it like district manager. I don't know what to call his position. He just oversees a bunch of people at a bunch of different places, right? And then we got into the part to things that I like to do that fill my cup. And I said, after working straight out of school in a very competitive environment at a Fortune 500, like being 22 and working at a Fortune 500, I don't recommend it. You know, I don't. I think there's so many other opportunities that you can do that give you the same experience and probably money, right? And give you life. You can still have a life. That was a lesson I learned. So I hated my life I did that job at the Fortune 500 for 10 months. I hated my life for, we'll be generous and say 6 of them. Okay? So I, worked 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. 6 days a week. I felt early on, after like month 3, after, being new, going through the growing phases and learning and stuff and getting comfortable and familiar and with routines and the job and stuff, right? I need to do stuff for me to get my mind off of work. Because most days were just absolutely just beyond brutal and miserable in terms of how hard you worked, the work you had to do, right? It wasn't like fun stuff, I quickly learned, like, I need to appreciate the little moments, like going on my lunch break. I stopped bringing lunch because I was making enough money to where I could go out and get a quick fast food meal every day and meet up with my girlfriend or go grab a coffee on my lunch break and stuff. I wasn't, given like breaks, right? They would just kind of have me do a task that was like, hey, this is kind of like a little break from the outside world right now, but you need to get this done and this is going to count as a break. So I had my lunch break, and then I would use that to do something as like a little reward, right? Go out and get something, go out and do something. And then I would go on drives because I love driving, and that would take my mind off the day at work. I would listen to music. I would, I play the saxophone. I would try to play the saxophone. I joined a band when I was there, right? Me and my friends got together and we started playing music together, right? That was all stuff to look forward to, and it was filling my cup. So I got used to like enjoying the little things, and that is a really good moral of the story. Learn to appreciate the little things you have. But it's also important that you are giving yourself time outside of school, outside of work, to have hobbies, to enjoy life and moments and have time with people, and they asked what I did, and I told them with coaching, that fills my cup. Being a leader, a part of this team, fills my cup. And that wasn't enough for them, and I can see why, right? And I don't know how long I want to make this video. I really haven't even accomplished that much. Oh my gosh. It was a brutal day that maybe I will talk more about after sitting and realizing this. But the questions being, I'm not a good liar. I can't be dishonest with someone. So I did nothing but tell the truth and spill my heart out, spill my guts out with, I'm not close with my bosses, and this guy I've talked to like 3 times. Yet I'm telling them everything and anything and everything, right? What else do we gotta add in here? Maybe like, oh, I need some clay. Where can I get some clay? Because I would love to make some pots. Maybe there's some down here in like the little bay. Right, so they were constantly asking me, how do you feel right now? I was like, tired. Give me more. Disconnected from my coworkers because everybody's close, everybody's friends, everybody hangs out with each other, but I'm not close with my coworkers. I've never been good at it because I don't want to. It's just not a strength of mine. I don't know how to have that aspect of the job and of life, right? And then I was like, I feel vulnerable. I feel kind of scared. I feel confused. I feel lost, right? And I think just walking in blind for a 2-hour session answering these intense questions was draining, was scary, you know. And I have no choice but to trust them with the information I said. And they know a little bit more about me because everybody at the end was like, you know, Shuirozen, I didn't know that about you. And I hope that they think twice when they start to ask me to do all this stuff, that like, hey, like I do so much stuff for you guys to be able to have a chill day, to be able to go, you know, relax and not stress about work. I take on that extra weight, and I've realized that I can't do that anymore for them. I can't always be the person that does it. I need them to start stepping up and doing that for me. And the district manager, I've been calling him, said, you work tomorrow, this is what you have to do. You're not going to come in tomorrow. I'm giving you a mandatory mental health day off to rest, and you are going to do something fun for yourself that's going to fill your cup. I'm like, I got coaching. They're like, you have all day before coaching and all day after coaching, because I know my schedule, to do something fun. On Friday, when I see them again, they said you're going to report back everything you did. So my scheduled day was Thursday, which is tomorrow. I was supposed to work today, which was Wednesday. So they gave me 2 days off in a row, and I'm thankful and appreciative of it because I don't remember this feeling. I don't know the last time I had 2 days off in a row, you know? It's been a minute. And before we ended, which was, it took me about 20 minutes. So what they did was they said, you need to tell me 3 things you love about yourself. And it took me about 20 minutes to come up with 3. And it was the most awkward, most painful thing, just sitting there in silence, everybody watching me as I'm like panicking, trying to think of stuff. Again, I can't be dishonest. I can't do it. So, you know how much I'm running around. If you guys don't know this, I'm a big overthinker too. So that makes just doing some parts of the job a lot harder as well. Managing expectations and stuff like that. But the interior is coming along. Maybe we'll put some more shelving along here. I know I'm running around a lot, but it's hard to talk and play at the same time, especially when I'm trying to get stuff off my plate. So 3 things I said I liked about myself. The first thing that came to my mind was, I don't even know if I'm gonna remember them all. I said was my work ethic. They said, okay. And I said, I don't know the right word that I used. I think I said my determination, because I know that there's nothing out there in the world that's too small or too big for me to do that I won't be able to accomplish one way or another. No matter how long it takes me, I know I can do it, and I know I will get it done. I think that comes hand in hand with work ethic. Then I said also my ability to care for others. And I said selflessness, to always put others before myself. And then they got to, now tell me 3 things you love about your body. And that was a tough one because I was like picked on so much as a kid, right? I have curly hair. I thought it was messy as a kid. I didn't like it. My brother was very clean cut, more straight and well-maintained hair, right? So I was envious of that. So I said, no, that's out. I had braces for like 7 years. I had jaw problems. I'm developing the same jaw problems again, so I need to get braces again. So I'm insecure about my teeth and my smile. That's out, right? I think my nose is big. That's out. I have poor eyesight and I have brown eyes, which I think is boring and I don't like. That's out, right? I'm short. My height. That's out. I work out and I'm in decent shape, but again, I was in a relationship that was constantly, putting me down for my body and size. Okay, that's out. I have a tear in my shoulder, so I have is it body dysmorphia, but where like my right arm is significantly bigger than like my left arm because I have a tear in it, which is common for like people that are like right-handed or left-handed. They favor one side. Their muscles in that side of their body are going to be more developed, right? So I was like, I'm insecure about that. That's out, right? So I was like, just everything. Could not think of anything. And I said, I'm fortunate enough and blessed to have 2 hands and all 10 fingers still. And because of that, I am able to do what I do, and I can play the saxophone, and I can drive my car, which is stick. Need 2 hands to do that, right? And then I said, I'm fortunate enough and blessed to have 2 feet, 10 toes, and functioning knees and ankles and hips. Fun fact, I broke and dislocated my ankle as well when I was a kid. Not my fault. Again. There's a trend going on here, right? 2 more barrels and some more trapdoors. And that allows me to work the clutch pedal. So I said I'm thankful for I love about my body. I love my hands. I love my feet. And then I said I still have hearing in both ears. I have tinnitus, right? A little bit. But I still have hearing in both my ears because I work with like 2 deaf people, which is like surprising. Not surprising, right? But like what are the odds, I thought the odds were kind of I think that's pretty low odds, right? Anyways, dude, what am I doing? I need planks. So I was like, and having 2 ears with hearing in both my ears allows me to hear music, which is a passion of mine. Because like I said, I have like a hard day or something, I will go and throw some music on and enjoy it and listen to it, sit with it, right? Like me going on a drive and listening to music is the most soothing thing. Like I want nothing more in life than to just chase sunset after sunset, driving my car down the coast, down the beach, right? I'm from California. I live in California. I'm all about the the West Coast and the sunshine and the beach vibes and stuff. Like that's me. Growing up, everybody would like thought I was like destined to be like a surfer and whatnot. Like I just fit the vibe, I guess. Let me make a composter. Here. So I love nothing more than chasing a sunset, driving my car, and listening to my favorite music. Good music, new music. I love it. Those of you that also don't know, I went to music school originally in college to be a music teacher. And COVID kind of messed up my plans, and that got me to where I am today now. Which is okay. Need some leaves. Which I surprisingly don't have. That's odd. I also know that I need to start planting some bamboo over here. That's a good spot. There you go. Awesome. Where was that? Iron. Okay, what color? Let's throw cherry leaves. I think we'll do birch leaves right now. That's a disappointing shrub. That's a disappointing shrub. Oh my goodness. I like the height of the shelf though. Can I? That's gonna float. Okay. So we finished the meeting. It took me about 20 minutes to come up with those responses, right? And they said, Shuirozen, we're going to check in with you on Friday. You have 2 days off to go and try to fill your cup and do something fun. You're going to report back to us what you did. So today, I woke up and I just felt like this crushing feeling. Like I was like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong, right? They had to pull somebody from their day off to come in and do my work because they were giving it to me off. So I felt just like a burden, and I was like, I'm adding to everybody else's plate. My whole point of working is to try to take stress off of other people, and now I put myself in a position to where I'm adding to everybody else's plate, and I'm not trying to do that, right? So I went and met up with my dad for coffee and like a little breakfast, like at a cafe, you know. And then I came home. I went to the store real quick, came home and streamed for a little over an hour, and it was so good hanging out with my community. Definitely a passion of mine. Then I went to practice. I was there for about 4 hours. I had a really great time working with the kids. That's a passion of mine. I love teaching, and I don't love coaching. I don't love track and field that much, but being a role model and helping kids, I love it. You know, I wish I could do it every day. Came home, washed my car, which I love doing when pretty much during spring, summer, and fall. I will wash my car once a week. Because I like keeping it clean. It's therapeutic, it's relaxing, it's fun for me. And tomorrow, I think my plan is to go on a walk, stream for probably 2 hours, go to practice, coach, and that's all I got. So that is what I'm doing. I'm needing to try to incorporate more fun into my life. And it's just, I feel like I could see all this happening, but now that it's happened in front of me now, like spiraled out of control, I just kind of don't know what to feel, you know? Like I feel, I don't know, funky, I guess is the right, whether that's the right word, I don't know. A little unlike myself right now. And this is gonna be hard for a bit. It's gonna take some time to grow and learn from this and get into a better spot, right? But this was a lesson I know I needed to learn, and I didn't know I needed to learn it. So that's how things have been for me lately. I know, not the funnest video. Boy, was that conversation just tough to have and sit through. I was so proud of myself for like not breaking down or like crying or anything. You know, I kept my cool the entire time. It was tough. It was tough. I don't want to do it again, but I think I also have weekly meetings now with the district manager to go ahead and check in on me. Make sure I'm doing a better job taking care of myself, and I'm just glad that he cares. The previous district manager was one that actually hired me, and I got to know him for a while, and I thought we were close because he gave me a chance. He, backed me up. And then, come recent times, that wasn't true. So I've had this district manager for, this was his second week on the job. And I feel already more supported and more like he's wanting to make changes. He's wanting to be connected with us and have our back. So that is my tea time. Thank you for sitting with me as I did close to no work on the interior of my house. I want to do the outside next time I hop on this world. Get some bamboo. I think would look really good with this. And then we'll do like, I need to get some farms in here. We gotta get cooking on this, right? But thank you for sitting through this tea time with me, for listening. And the reason I make these is to get like the inside perspective of like, hey, like, yeah, I'm some dude on the internet making videos, sharing stories, or like, hey, this is what the outside of YouTube life is like, and that's the content I'm making. That's the content I like to watch. That's the content I like to make. We're making a podcast for those of you that follow the Neighbors SMP. We're doing a podcast just to chat more. And, I've done tea time with my friend Lucy, and I'm, asking and getting more of my other friends to hop on and do it with me so I can get to know them better. Like, this is what I like. I like talking and, getting to know people for who they are, not what they are. Not they are a content creator, right? Making videos on the Neighbors SMP. They are a person. They have a job outside of YouTube. They have family outside of YouTube, right? They have goals and ambitions and stories to share that are happened outside of YouTube, and that's what I want to share. And it's so cool that so many people are interested in doing that with me. So I'm really excited, but I've learned that I also need to be more vulnerable with people around me, so I'm not keeping everything in. So I'm gonna call it here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I hope that there was a lesson that you take away from this. And if you need anything, I am here, dude. My Discord's down in the description. Like, leave a comment, like, we can chat. Like, I promise I am always there for you and for everyone else. Ask anybody that knows me. I am always there for them. So thank you. Don't forget to drink lots of water. Don't forget to have 3 meals a day. Don't forget to do something that is going to fill your cup before you try to go do something and fill someone else's cup, okay? So thank you. Take care of yourself and have a great day.